Hello everyone, I'm Andrew, this is 24th Century Cardboard, and this is some inaugural edition. Figured we'd come back to it, see if we could find something really interesting and cool. We had some fun with the weird, sort of bad early 90s art the last time around. Let's see if we can have some better luck, or some similar luck today. Maybe we can get another one of those randomly inserted holograms. We got one last time of, I believe it was a Romulan warbird. Let's see what we can come up with today. Alright, if you remember, the last time we did this, we got cards about how holodecks work with fancy treadmills. And, oh, well, look at that. Russian translation of Star Trek The Next Generation. Galaxy Class Development Project. That sounds fascinating. Maybe we'll look at the back of that one later. Where no one has gone before in English. A checklist. The Federation Excelsior class. Flight Control Con. Counselor Deanna Troy. Let's turn that back around. Lieutenant Miles O'Brien. 10 forward. The Q. Alright, well, that's some interesting stuff, but in particular, I want to have a look at this Galaxy Class Development Project. Look at that mission patch. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Alright, what does it say about the mission? Galaxy Class Development Project. None of the ships built by Starfleet over the years can match the power and technological advancement of Galaxy Class vessels. Officially approved in 2343 AD. That'd be this century, folks. The Galaxy Class project lasted over 20 years before reaching the final construction of the USS Enterprise, trademark. Galaxy Class starships are multi-mission vehicles that are able to carry out any and all of Starfleet's objectives. They're categorized as explorers, the largest ships in a classification system that includes cruisers, cargo carriers, tankers, surveyors, and scouts. Galaxy Class Starship Development Project, Utopia Planitia Starfleet Yards, Mars. Cool. That's interesting. Let's take a look at this flight control too. I won't read the whole thing, but let's take a quick look at the back and see what it has to say about flight controls. Command systems. Yeah, mostly talks about what its purpose is rather than how it works. Although they do sort of show what some of the buttons do. Let me get a little bit closer here. Nope, I've gone closer than it can focus. There we go. Flight control panel, navigational reference, manual sequence controls, XY translation pad. It's kind of cool. All right, sweet. Galaxy Class Development Project. Oh, let's put those in the frame for you. There we go. Next pack. There we go. Whichever of you thought that I would be good at opening packs by the 10th video, you are so wrong. I would have thought so too. Alright. Where no one has gone before. The Battle Bridge. The Battle Bridge. Trivia. The Klingons. We'll take a look at that one. The Tricorder. Maybe we'll take a look at that too. A Klingon bird of prey. Inertial damping system. Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Sorry for the background noise, everybody. A fire truck just pulled up. Not sure what that's about. Hopefully everybody's okay. Lieutenant Miles O'Brien. 10 forward again. And the Q again. Alright. Well, let's check out this tricorder real quick. What do we got about tricorders? The tricorder is a handheld computer. Yes, it is. Capable of scanning, computing, and recording information. Carried on away team missions, the tricorder functions as a miniature version of the ship's sensors. The standard tricorder can be augmented with peripheral devices to enhance its effectiveness in user-specific tasks, or linked directly to the ship's computer as an access terminal. The units are activated by touch-sensitive buttons or vocal commands. In emergency situations, a tricorder can dump its entire memory into the ship's main computer if within range. Tricorders are standard equipment. Alright. What do we got about trivia? 5 pieces of Klingon trivia. Oh, 5 questions. What are the major classes of Klingon starships? Are Klingon vessels capable of cloaking? Which crew member of the USS Enterprise became the first human ever to arbitrate the Klingon Rite of Ascension? How many Klingons are currently serving duty aboard the USS Enterprise? What is the name of the Klingon homeworld? Well, those aren't very hard trivia questions, but they're trivia questions. I was expecting trivia, not questions, but okay. Third pack, let's see. Let's see what we can come up with here. All right, we have Ambassador Sarek. Let me get those a little bit more stable for you. There we go, Ambassador Sarek. Ship access corridors and turbo lifts. And they show us a picture of like a not very well lit corridor. We'll take a look at the back of that one. Dilithium crystals. We read this one last time, ship signage. The commissioning plaque. Oh, that's fun. Take a look and see what it says. There we go. Take a look and see what it says. Trivia. Data. A communicator. A Romulan scout ship. Standard flight information input. Now that is interesting. Let's take a look at that one. And Geordi LaForge. All right, so let's have a look at what we can learn in this pack about ship access turbo lifts, dilithium crystals, and flight information inputs. All right, so first we've got ship access corridors and turbo lifts. The habitable volume of the USS Enterprise, trademark, is accessed by the ship's crew via a network of corridors and turbo elevator transport systems, turbo lifts. Corridors are designed to allow free and easy access to all duty areas within the ship. Utility corridor paths run alongside the personnel corridors and are accessed by removing modular wall panels. Do they ever actually do that in any of the episodes? Usually they go through Jeffrey's tubes. Additional storage areas and corridors provide emergency support packages, power supply modules, and manual firefighting equipment. Turbolifts provide deck-to-deck access, traveling vertically as well as horizontally. All turbolifts are computer-controlled, so a simple spoken command will send the turbolift car along an optimum route to bring the user as close to their destination as possible. Now, that's interesting that it says it moves both up and down and horizontally, because I'm pretty sure that there is an episode, I think it's called The Disaster, in which Picard and a bunch of kids are trapped in a turbolift. In a damaged turbolift, in fact, that is in danger of falling, and they break out of the turbolift car, and it's clearly a vertical elevator shaft. So that's interesting. All right, let's have a look at standard flight information inputs. All right, so they give us the two 2-degree coordinate. There are 5 standard input modes available for specification of spacecraft flight paths, which may be entered by keyboard or spoken voice command. Well, if they can be entered by spoken voice command, what do you need somebody sitting at the con for? Anyway, flight control software automatically calculates optimal flight paths, which can be executed or modified by the con officer. The modes are Destination Planet or System, Destination Selector by ID number, Spacecraft Intercept, Relative Bearing, flight vector specified as an azimuth and elevation, relative to the ship's current orientation, or an absolute heading, which is a flight vector specified as an azimuth and elevation relative to the galaxy, which is interesting because they don't say, when they say set a heading, 1, 2, 3, Mark 4, they don't specify whether they mean relative or absolute positioning. Interesting, though. Let's go on to the next pack. Still see if we can get one of those randomly inserted holograms. We did last time. Maybe we'll get another one today. But I think not in this pack. Klingon Vorcha class attack cruiser. It so looks like a model in these cards. Emergency landing of saucer module. Lieutenant Commander Data. It is funny that they're upside down like that. Lieutenant Reginald Barclay. Shuttle pods. Sella. Principal. Oh, I'm going to read that one. Principal photography. Navigational deflector systems. The symbol of the Ferengi Alliance. And the ship schematic dorsal plan view. Alright. Well, I'm actually super curious what this card about principal photography says. I mean, that's a camera that they used to do principal photography. Let's see. The principal photography for Star Trek The Next Generation is done primarily in sound stages on the Paramount Pictures lot in Hollywood, California. The show is shot on a 35mm film negative to retain the rich color quality desired, then transferred to video for editing and visual effects. As I mentioned in the last video on these, that was a new thing, doing digital masters on for visual effects. The director of a particular episode will determine how the sets are filmed on stage within parameters set by the cinematographer as to what can physically be accomplished in the time allowed. The director of photography or cinematographer will work with his camera crew as well as the gaffer, the head of the lighting department, to control the overall look of the lighting and the types of moves the camera makes to create an aesthetically pleasing view of the sets. So that's just basically principal photography generally. That's nothing unique to Star Trek, except, as I say, The Next Generation had its visual effects all done on digital videotape, which is why they had to be redone in order to remaster for high definition. They actually had to redo all the visual effects. All right, let's take a quick look at this one. I don't think I'll read the whole thing, but the symbol of the Ferengi Alliance here. The behavior of the Ferengi Alliance and its race can often seem sinister or underhanded. Actually, the Ferengi follow their own very strict code of ethics. They seem so aggressive because they are the galaxy's most extreme capitalists. Yeah. The symbol of the Ferengi Alliance is a graphic representation of their narrow view of life. The dog-eat-dog world is represented by a small circle being engulfed by a larger symbol, which is itself being eaten by another. Well, that's sort of a shame, because it's really quite racist, I think, for us here in the Federation to talk about the Ferengi as having an inherently narrow view of life. That seems a little excessive to me, don't you think? Anyway, I won't get into Ferengi politics. It's a fascinating subject, but this is an entertainment channel. All right, what do we got here? We have Ensign Wesley Crusher. Kit Alir. Kit Alir is not a embossed premium card in this set, like she was in the other. Oh, we gotta read how transporters work. The Traveler. Art and Design. Holodeck Environment Simulation Theory again. Starfleet Uniforms. Warp Engines. And trivia about Q. Oh, and a Type 1 phaser. Still think that looks more like the toy than anything that you saw in the film, but in the show. All right, so let's see what we can learn about transporters here. Extravehicular transport to and from the Enterprise is accomplished by an advanced molecular transporter system capable of moving personnel or cargo at ranges of up to 40,000 kilometers. Basically, the transporter beam converts matter into energy, beams that energy to a fixed point, then restores the energy back to its matter form. Since the USS Enterprise cannot normally enter the atmosphere of a planet, the transporter is an essential tool for the crew's planetary missions. Personnel transporters incorporate a bioscanner and filter to detect most viruses, bacteria, and alien matter that might accidentally be picked up by crew members on an away mission. Well, that seems cool. All right, well that's what I've got for today, everybody. No new randomly inserted holograms, but some very interesting strangeness on the backs of some of these cards. I hope you all had as much fun with these as I did. I will be back again in a couple of days with some episode collection. We've got that Season 5 box that we're still working on. And I'll see you all in the next one.